What is going on, Empire Builders? We are here today with Adam Erhart, and I am stoked. Adam and I were actually in a mastermind group together a few months back, so it was really exciting to learn all about his business and what he's got going on. And what I wanted to do with him today is bring him onto the show to talk to you about not only his business, some of his challenges and how he overcame those, but also how he is attracting clients. And I know you Empire Builders are always interested in hearing how other people, other marketers, consultants, freelancers are generating their clients. So I brought Adam on today to share all of that with us. How you doing, man?
I'm doing wonderful, Brian. Thank you very much. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. So remind us all, where are you from in the world? Canada, right?
I am from Canada. I'm from like the far west side of Canada. So if you like drive into the ocean, that's my house. Just keep driving west. So I'm like just north of Seattle on Vancouver Island.
Okay, cool, man. We are on the same coast, but in different countries. So I'm glad we're connecting in the same time zone. But listen, man, why don't you, in your own words for my audience, just talk a little bit about your business and what you do?
Cool. So my business is, what's the best way to put it? Like a traffic consultant. So I do predominantly a combination of Facebook ads for coaches, consultants, experts, thought leaders, that type of thing, as well as teach people how to do their own Facebook ads and generate their own traffic for coaches, consultants, experts, thought leaders, that type of market. Business was not always this way. That's where it's sort of evolved to. It started back years and years ago as a jack of all trades digital agency, which did SEO and social and web design and what so many people do when they're first kind of getting into digital marketing. And so just, I'll do everything. And then quickly realize what works, what doesn't, what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy. And that's kind of how it evolved to where it is today.
Very cool, man. So how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing it for 6 years.
Okay. And were you side hustling for a while before that? Like, tell us a little bit about that. Like, was it just you went all in on your business, or were you doing this job before?
Good question. Nobody's asked me that before. So I used to be a business jet pilot. So I flew rich people all around the world. And I did that for years and years. And while I was doing that, I kind of had the inkling that I wanted to get out of it, which if you ever meet pilots, they love flying and like that's all they want to do. And that was never me. I liked it and the job was amazing, but it was never really me. So I started like a side hustle, but to be honest, the side hustle was like me building a website, not getting any clients. So I built a website and then I sat on it for like 2 years. And then finally I just basically snapped while I was flying. I was like, I got to get out of here. And I came home and I just like literally stopped flying that day. And I haven't flown since. And I was like, I got to make some money now. What am I going to do? And so I started looking at what I knew and what I was good at. And it started with like this super broad general business consulting. Then it narrowed down to marketing, strategy, and that. And then it narrowed down to digital marketing. And that's sort of where the agency was born. And then just continued to grow from there.
That's a crazy story, man. I've never heard of someone being, having such a great, I mean, in your words, maybe not the greatest job, but to maybe people on the outside, a pretty solid gig lined up and people something probably love doing and you just wanted more. So that's a crazy story, man. And it's funny now when you say that and I see your face, you almost kind of look like a pilot. Like you could have been one of those guys, right? Like the 70s movies with like that suitcase walking through the airport.
Yeah, man, it's funny. There's definitely a persona to it. And what's funny is when I first got this gig, like my sort of entry into corporate aviation was like this magic carpet Aladdin story. Like it was a combination of, give myself some credit, but like it was a combination of a ton of luck. And I lucked out, like the dream job, flying these business jets. And I was 22, like fresh out of school. And I looked like I was like 7 years old. And so the people would get on the plane, they'd be like, "You're the pilot?" Yes. Have a seat. Yeah. So it was crazy. But yeah, you definitely have like a pilot look. Hey, so
that's funny. That's awesome, man. Which company? I'm curious. I've got an uncle that flies for NetJets.
Yeah. Okay. So we were like, it wasn't a company because it was just for various rich people that own their own jets.
Oh.
So what happened is, around like Europe and the Middle East, North Africa, I was based out of London, Paris, and Cairo over the period of about 7 years. And it was basically, just families that owned jets. One of the bigger ones was Wind Telecom. So the family that owns Wind Telecom and Erascom and that, called the Suarez family. And they owned a series of different jets, and they liked Canadian pilots, and that was it.
They like Canadian pilots. That's awesome, man.
That's it. Yeah, rustic, fly in the
You
wood
guys
bush.
are more friendly for sure than most of the world. So it's a
We
good
smile
stereotype.
a lot. Yeah.
Well, cool, man. The marketing world is better to have you here with us. I think you're a really sharp guy. You got a lot of great ideas. Really solid YouTube channel as well. Inspired me to, really
Thank
take
you.
mine more seriously. So, what I want to do is just for my audience, really hear about one, how you attracted your first clients when you were just getting started, and then we can kind of get in some of the strategies that you grew into. But why don't you tell me, when you were just getting your business off the ground and you were a generalist, still just looking and hunting for your first business, where did you turn to?
Cool. And that's such an important question, Brian. Like, that's so important. Is that what often happens is we look at people that have been around for like 6 years and have established businesses, and we're like, well, how do you guys get clients? And it doesn't matter, because it's totally different. And the strategies that some people at different stages are using are not practical, and they're not effective. So I think the best advice I can give is that when you're first getting started, you have to do the things that are not scalable. And what often happens is everybody wants to luck into that perfect lead gen funnel where they can qualify clients without ever to talk to them and pre-sell them and all that stuff. But the reality is that, like, let's say you're going to pay $500 for an application, and it's going to cost you $1,000 or $2,000 to acquire a client through one of these funnels. When you're first starting, you don't want to spend $2,000 to acquire a client. That's insane. Like you don't know if that's going to work, or what if they cancel it for a few months? You don't have the float. So those are all good, and we can touch on those later. But when I first started, it was like, now I hate hustle, right? Because I was like, I don't like that idea of hustling, but you kind of got to hustle a bit. So the reality is that when you're first starting and you need those clients, you've got to put yourself in the client's position. And what the client's thinking is, why would I hire you? And as soon as you start to look at that from their perspective, it becomes really easy. And what most people will be like, well, because I'm smart and I'm good and I'm really good at marketing. And like, cool, you and everybody else, right? Like, everybody's a digital marketer now. And your competition isn't the agency down the street. It's everyone all over the world, because we live like this now. So when I first started, it was like, I gave myself a limit where if I didn't get, I can't remember, it was like 5 clients by this date, I'm quitting and I'm going back and getting a job or whatever, going back flying, which I didn't want to do. So I did like all the horrible things. Like, I did the networking groups. I did like all BNI. I did anything local I could think of. I just, I called everyone I knew, like literally called everyone I knew, and like, this is what I'm doing. Do you need any help? I worked for free. Like, I built websites for free. I built up a portfolio of results. That's basically it, is that if you've got no results, you need results, and then you can leverage those results. So people are like, oh, I'm not working for free. Yeah, you work for free. Like, it's a small pain to pay in the beginning. Like, you gotta, it's all cause and effect. So you gotta pay your dues. So work for free, work for cheap, do whatever you can, get those clients, and then you leverage those into other clients with case studies, by getting referrals, by all the other stuff. So that's number one. The second thing I did is I became like a content machine. And it was terrible content. Like, it was so bad. Like, I
can
look
relate,
back,
man. My first content is like, I'm glad it's actually gone from the internet, because I like,
yeah.
hear it.
Yeah, man, I think mine's gone. I still have some early stuff up on another one of my sites. Early, not beginning. And the early stuff is not good. The beginning stuff is atrocious. Like, it's just like, what is this? But you don't get to where you're going to go unless you start. So you have to start. So you become a content machine. And the reason is that gives you more opportunity to be found. Now, if you're a local agency or a local marketer or anyone local, your life is about 1,000,000 times easier than everybody else's, because you can rank for things faster. You can retarget people easier. Your market's smaller, so you can saturate it quicker. You can go door knocking. I mean, you can do all those things, but really, yeah, a bit of hustle, bit of outreach, a whole lot of content. And then I just never stopped producing content.
Yeah, that's good advice, man. And I think an important lesson in and of itself is you have to start with something that's not perfect to even move towards something that's good. And you have to just accept, like, the first step you're going to put out is going to suck. And it's so funny because, sometimes I doubt whether or not my content I can use it to get clients and things like that. There's certain things like case studies that I've used specifically and sent it to people. I'm like, oh yeah, like, I want that. But things that I just put out there in the world, like YouTube videos, I was questioning for a while, like, is this working? But crazy thing, man, literally last week, some guy like who saw my YouTube video has a high school friend who owns all these businesses. And now I've got a really hot lead on the table because I was producing this content. So yeah, I agree, man. You absolutely got to start there, and don't assume though that people are going to see your content right out of the bat. When you're just creating that, you might have to go send it to the right people. So connect with people and, you know, genuinely help them by saying, hey, I have this thing, this article, ebook, whatever that might be helpful to you.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, no, content is the long game. So like if you've got to build your business today, content marketing is not the right strategy for you to start deploying. Like it's just not. However, if you want to last past 6 months, you got to start today anyways. So yeah. And as in regards to that YouTube, like it's nifty because I don't think I got a client from YouTube. Two things about YouTube. I don't think I got a client from YouTube until like a year and a half, maybe 2 years into it. But then it paid off huge. The second thing is my clients watch my YouTube videos. So it's retention. So like the thing with the podcast is that I remember when I first launched the podcast, my numbers were just stupid low. I was like, this is just the biggest waste of time. And then a client, a very high level, high paying client, referenced one of my podcast episodes. And I was like, well, that solidifies it. We're just going to keep doing this because as long as they're paying for it, they're paying for the podcast and all the production and all the time. And so the podcast alone has added 6 figures every year just to the business, just by having that. So, and YouTube again, added another 6 figures to the business. And like all of these different content channels add up and they start to contribute more and more business and more clients to it. So
yeah, that's great, man. But I think something important for people watching what you said was, if you want to grow your business today, that's not the route you take. You need to deep dive your personal connections, go meet people in the community, and really just see where your opportunities come from. So totally, that's an interesting question and a topic in itself. So when you're just starting out, you kind of have to just take the opportunities. You can't really like niche down, or how do you feel about that? I know it's important to choose a niche ultimately, but when you're just starting out, you know, do you think people should niche down right away or just see where their opportunities come from?
Okay, so such a good question. I love that question because I feel very strongly about it, and probably because of the route that I've taken and even the route that I'm on now is we've all heard the niches are in the riches, right? And everyone's always like, just niche down, just niche down. I never did that, and if I did, it would have murdered my business. Like when you're first starting out, you do whatever you have to do. So if I would go to like meet a dentist, they'd be like, what do you do? I'd be like, oh, I do digital marketing for dentists. You meet a chiropractor, it's like, what do you do? Oh, I build marketing funnels for chiropractors. Like, I'm at the vet. It's like, what do you do? Oh, I do social media management for vets. Like whatever it is, you do all of it. And what happens is when you start to work with these different industries and different facets of the business, you'll realize where you get the results. You'll realize who you like and don't like working with. But you got to eat. Like for me, it was really simple. Like if I didn't take on anyone, I would have not eaten.
Right.
So I was like, it was just
the really Elon Musk diet of pasta and bananas, right?
Exactly. That's right. It's like I have rickets or scurvy or some 18th century pirate disease. But no, the reality is that unless you are coming from, say, like you're a retired chiropractor who wants to get into marketing and know everything, yeah, then niche down. Or you're like in a coal mining town and you're doing oh man, that's probably a bad example. I don't know, coal mining, social media management, like whatever it is. If you can see an untapped need or an untapped market, then sure, you can. But you don't have to niche down exclusively. You can create marketing funnels or marketing materials for that and others. I do think it's important to probably, depending on the size of your market, not be a generalist in regards to doing SEO and web design and Facebook ads and Google AdWords, because I see that all the time and they're bad at all of them. Unless they've got people working on each one, like you just can't, which is why I've had to grow the team and cut off parts of the business that just we can't do it all. So
yeah, man, that's really solid advice. I think something interesting too, your opportunities, your first opportunities, even though they're good in the beginning, they might not be what's best for you in the long run. So for me, I got a lot of opportunities in the home and garden space that just happened to be where I knew people and I got connected. But over the last couple of years working in that space, I've realized it's very seasonal and old school. So I'm just starting to pull my head out like, okay, I've had solid clients for years in this space, but it's really hard to acquire and keep new ones. So I'm starting to expand into different niches and industries where I could hopefully find people with more consistent businesses.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I've got seasonal clients as well, and they're amazing, but you've got to make sure to offset that. Like that can't be your only business unless you want to work 6 months of the year and just take winter off.
Yeah, depending on how much they pay you, right?
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Which is why I moved again. I started very, very local, but I never, actually, that's not even true. I shouldn't say I never had the intention of growing or never had the intention of staying local. Because I think when I started, my mind, like I was so like just make this thing work. I've got to eat. But very quickly I realized that this was not the market I wanted to stay in and dominate. And so it grew from there. But yeah, it was only by saying yes to everything. Like you say yes to everything until you're full. And then you can start to be selective. Yeah. But I have no patience for someone who's working like 4 hours a day and saying no to opportunities. It's like, no, you've got to fill up your pipeline. So
yeah, exactly. It's like when you don't have money, you probably have a lot of time. So
yeah,
you have a lot of more money and you have less time, you can buy back that time by hiring and outsourcing, things like that.
Totally.
So,
yeah, everything. Sorry, Brian.
No, go ahead.
No, that's it. Like, and that's all marketing, right? Like when you're first beginning, you've got more time than money. So you do that. And then as you have more money than time, you delegate and you outsource. And it's really that transition. You don't get to get away from it. And even now I just actually did an interview with Perry Marshall, 80/20 sales and marketing this morning. Awesome. And we were talking again about sort of the transition, and I'm still not good at getting away from it. Like I've still got to work more on delegating more and moving away from it. So it's an iterative process. It's going to keep going. So
yeah, for sure. So you talk a little bit about strategies like content marketing that you've used long-term to acquire clients. And you've also talked about how it's changed what you've did in the beginning versus what you do now. So maybe touch on that a little bit. So now you acquired a few clients, you've realized you want to focus on an area. What have you been doing now to attract clients? And say, tomorrow, if you wanted to go out and get a client, what would be the number one thing you'd start with and the channel you'd go to?
Whoa, cool. Good. Those are multiple questions.
Yeah.
How would I answer?
Pick one and then we'll just kind of see where it takes us.
That's right. Okay. If I needed a client, okay, well, this is not a practical advice. So like if I needed a client tomorrow, say I had one, I would just reach out to my network and I would say, hey, I've got space for one more, and they would find someone. So that's because of years of careful giving away tons of stuff for free. I'm still in masterminds, which is a large portion of it. So what I found is that I've bought myself friends. It sounds so bad, but like literally I've paid a lot of money so that I can go hang out and learn from these guys. And then once I've gotten into their circle, they give me business. And so the mastermind payments that I've made, they've returned on investment so many times over, it's not even funny. Like it's just been the biggest no-brainer I've ever made, but still the most difficult decision I ever made because they cost a fortune. Like masterminds aren't cheap. And so you're like, am I going to pay a few grand or 20 grand or 100, like whatever you're going to pay? And on the outside, you're like, that's dumb. No one's doing that. But the reality is you get in those groups and they just up level. So that's all I would do is I'd go in there and say, hey, I need this. If I didn't have that, I would get that for starters. But I would also probably just run a funnel. So I'd run like paid traffic to a lead magnet with an upsell to either a strategy called a webinar, an app, like some form of conversion. I've got a couple different ones that work well. All of them are off right now because things are full, but I can just turn them on and leads come in. So
that's awesome, man. I feel like that in itself, if and when you'd ever want to, deserves its own conversation and interview because that's what a lot of people want to do is get inbound leads without having to go chase them. And I have had some success doing that for realtors in the past, but I found it difficult to make it work in other industries. So I'd love, at some point, we don't have enough time here, but love to see your take on that eventually.
I think, we'll circle back one day, but for the time being, where most people go wrong with that is they don't know how much they can afford to pay for a client. So they shut things off too early. And that's my experience with it is they're like, they'll put in $100, $200, $500, $1,000, and then they'll panic because they've just wasted $1,000. And you've got to know, like, what's your lifetime value of a client? And if they're less than $1,000 or $2,000, that's not the strategy to go. But if they're like 60 grand or 80 grand over the course of their life or whatever, well, then think about how much you can afford to pay. 10 grand, 15 grand. Like, so I can now pay a lot for a client because if they stay for a year or whatever they might be, worth 60 grand. So I don't mind dumping in money until I get the right client. I can pick and choose. But when I was first starting, that's insane. Like I'd have been out of business like that. So, and then in debt.
What industries have you seen work the best for paid traffic? I'm not sure which ones you've been testing in, but I'm just curious where you found the best results.
I found the best results in across industries. It's offer specific. So they've got to have high ticket. That's what I found, is that this is not like paid traffic is becoming less and less effective for anyone selling something less than $1,000. Like if someone's selling a tripwire offer or anything like that, I won't run it for them. And I advise they don't do it. Like we need high ticket. Yeah. So I need them to get like 3 to 5K on the front, and I need them to get like 10, 15, 20 plus on the back end. So that's where it works. And it's worked for, all sorts. Like that's anyone awesome. With a high ticket offer.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, again, we'll have to circle back around to that, but for now,
I know a whole other ball of wax.
No, I know, man. That could be a whole hour long, like screen share thing. So for sure, another time. But for now, I'd love to dive into a little bit more about some of the challenges you faced. So maybe let's go back to the beginning. What were some of the things that you struggled with initially in your business? Can be clients, can be just paying the bills, figuring things out. What did you think the biggest issue was for you?
The challenges I went through, soul-crushing depression. How about that? How about
that's real. That's real, man.
Oh, horrible real. The gut-wrenching, like dry heaving is you're like, I'm gonna literally lose it. Like everything. I went through the ups and downs like nobody else. Like pardon me, like everybody else. Like just horrible downs of really bad depression, to the point that I went to the doctor and I was like, something's wrong. Like I think I'm depressed. And he's like, cool, I think you're depressed. Here's what we should probably do. And we avoided drugs in my case, but others can't, which is you do what you got to do. Then I would have the highs. They were like, oh my God, I'm the best in the world. This is so good. I'm going to do this all. And then I would lose it all again. And so I went through that roller coaster badly. And for me, it was around November, because especially up here in the Pacific Northwest, it's cloudy and rainy and depressing. And so I would sit there in front of my computer, living a very unhealthy, like 12, 16-hour workday, trying to figure out how this is going to work, not really knowing stuff, seeing people rocket by me that I thought weren't any smarter, but they were just dominating. And I was like barely scraping by and trying to figure out what was going on and how were they able to do it. I found the answer. I know what they did now. And it's mindset, really. This sounds so simple. It was really just the mindset. Obviously, that takes years to develop, takes a lot of books and a lot of reading and a lot of coaches and that, but that was the difference. So I didn't have the right mindset at the time. It took a lot of work. So clients issues, tons of them. I took on the wrong clients. They caused headaches. They didn't pay enough, or they didn't pay at all. So I've learned to get paid up front, and I learned to better vet my clients. And I like all of these other things that I don't think you can shortcut. That's the downside, is that, look, you're going to get punched in the groin repetitively. The good news is everybody does, right? Like everybody does. And that's part of the process. You can't avoid it, and you just won't learn the same things if you don't. So I don't know.
That's good. Those, and for me, I think it's a weird word, and it's so strange because I feel like I'm not afraid of like most things, but fear, I feel like is really a real part of it. And when you get bigger or you even get some level of success, the fear is almost like exasperated because you have something to lose at this point. So I think that's been for me a challenge, to be okay with going backwards if I have to take a step back to take a couple steps forward. Because, it's so frustrating, and business is so cynical. When you have a down year, you make a little less than you did the year before, you can like really kick yourself and like, well, I'm a screw up and never going to do this again. So for me, it's overcoming the fear of losing it and just having we had no other option. I mean, I don't think I have the capability of going and getting a job. Not to say that I wouldn't if I had to support myself, but just mentally, like, I'm not a good employee. Like, I suck.
You're unemployable, man.
Like,
you're unemployable. Yeah. And like we all are. We're not employable. Wouldn't last a minute. It'd be like, look, let me tell you all the things you're doing wrong and how we can make this so much better.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, totally. I think in regards to that fear thing, there's a switch that happened. Again, this is all mindset. And this is like, there's people that are way more qualified than I am to talk about this stuff. I'm not the mindset guy. I'm the student here, but there's a mindset switch that happens where you start to play to win instead of being afraid to lose. And you really look at it as a game where money becomes just a measurement system for value that you're putting out. I know this is like woo-woo a bit, but the reality is that now, like once you have enough, granted, you got to eat, you got to pay the bills, you got to put gas in the car, whatever. Once you've got that covered, it's just a game. And then it's like, how can I help more people and in return get rewarded for the value that I'm bringing? So again, if you told me that 5 years ago, I'd be like, you are on crack. Like I just need, because I have no client.
There's a rule of reciprocity, and I've learned this. And when you help someone, they feel more obligated to help you or return the favor, whether right away or in the future. So even when I'm doing things like cold outreach still on LinkedIn, it's all about putting them first, thinking like, how would they perceive this message, and still trying to provide value. But it's crazy how many people I'll still get being like, please don't message me, like take me off your list. It's like, do you know how LinkedIn works? I'm not pitching you anything. I'm like being like genuinely helpful. So I think even when you are helping people will still try and put you down and hold you back. But I think, you're right. Once what you put out in the world in terms of value can come back to you tenfold. And if you're putting out the right stuff, even more so. So again, I think it's just a matter of, like you said, getting started, and knowing that in the beginning, it's not going to be perfect. And then over time, refining it. And again, learning from each other like this, because as entrepreneurs who work online, I mean, like you said, it's so isolating sometimes just to sit in your living room or your office, whatever, all day long. And if you're not making progress, and then log onto Facebook, feel totally, just like you're making backward progress when you see other people doing things. So I think it's important not to compare yourself with where other people are, even if you think they're ahead of you, just because you don't want the same things as they do. You have your own goals in your life. And I think learning from them is important, but envying what they have is no way to get ahead. Yeah.
Also, I think, especially with Facebook, is that you're comparing their front end to your back end. So you're seeing, like when we're having this conversation right now, like what people are seeing is the results of not just 6 years of digital marketing, but like a lifetime of really, really hard work. Like really hard stuff. Started working way too young, had to go through flight school and fight my way through there. Had to go up to the Arctic and like lift bags in the ice and fight polar bears with my bare hands, like all this stuff. So they're seeing like this result here. They're not seeing the crushing depression and the bank account at zero and like the quitting, probably the best job anyone could ever hope to have, and having everyone around think that like you're just a meth addict now because there's no other reason that you would do that. So you see these stuff of like, oh, that guy's lucky, he's got it all together, and you're missing everything else. Like everyone's going to go through this, everyone's got to go through that, and don't compare as much as you can. Use it as like, cool, I'm going to do that, I'm going to achieve that. But we are all at different stages. We do all want different things. I sold my sports car and I bought like a 2013 Jetta. I'm like driving around in my old Jetta and I like it. So
it's fun, man. It's crazy. Like for me, I see a lot of people who move. I live in California. I see a lot of people moving out here as like an ultimate goal. Like, oh, I'm going to go live by the beach and all this stuff. And I'm so grateful. Like over the last 2 years, I got to do that. I got to go choose to go live by the beach. But now it's like, what do I want next to my life? And I want to own a home. So me and my girlfriend, we're moving to Michigan, and it's going to be this crazy transition. But like, it's so much different than what other people might want, and that's totally fine. So just make sure you're doing what's feels right for you and not trying to copy someone else. Because I feel like with social media, and I don't want to get too much on a tangent here, everyone wants to be someone else. Like on this micro level, they watch someone else, they live vicariously through their life. And I mean, I don't even have any social media apps on my phone anymore, man. Like I only go on my computer to use them as like a business tool. So I'm really trying to remove myself from people's highlight reels and just focus on myself more.
Nice. Good for you. I'm not there yet. I'm still a bit of a junkie, but I'll get there.
I know. I even resorted to deleting the news app, man. Like it was so stupid. Like it was Twitter first, and then it was like Facebook, and then it was Instagram, and then it was like I had my news app, and I kept going to the news app. Like, news is. I deleted the news app, so I'm like down to nothing. Now I pick up my phone. I'm like,
you're gonna have a phone that's like just a phone.
Yeah. Look at the weather now. So,
you should get like a flip phone, just like
that'd be nice.
A man. Zach Morris Saved by the Bell phone. Yeah.
For sure. So let me ask you a couple more questions, man, and we can wrap this up.
Cool. Yeah, I've got about 3 minutes left, and then I'm going to have to bail.
Yeah, perfect. Well, let me just one more question, or a couple more, but these will go quick. So what is something you wish that you knew before you got started that you know now?
What's something I wish I knew? That I was going to have to work harder, not even harder, that I was going to have to be more uncomfortable than I thought I was going to have to be. Like, and that the faster I made myself uncomfortable, the faster the results would come. That's something I wish I knew. Like when I first started, my goal was to not avoid discomfort, but like minimize it. And now I realize the more uncomfortable I can be, the faster the results happen. So if I go to a networking event, I go talk to people. If I want to do like a video, I'll shoot a video. I'll put myself out there. I'll make my opinion known. Not comfortable. Not everybody likes it. You're going to get criticism. You're going to get critique, but you're going to get more love as well. So that's one. You're going to be uncomfortable. Embrace it.
That's great, man. That's really, really solid advice. And you're right. It's so easy for us to like want to get a couple of clients and then just sit back on the sofa like, all right, it's all good. But then you lose one and you're screwed. So don't get comfortable, because the second you do, you can slip up. Yeah. So the last thing I have for you is, why don't you tell people where they can go if they want to learn more? I mean, you've got a great website, a blog, YouTube channel, but where would you tell my audience to go check out more if they want to learn more about you?
Cool. Yeah, I got a ton of content out there. So the best place to probably go is adamerhart.com. That's ADAMERHART.com. You can find the podcast and the YouTube channel and everything on there. If you do listen to podcasts, it's Modern Marketing Podcast. If you go to YouTube, just type in Adam Erhart or Modern Marketing or Modern Marketing Show. Like you can't miss me. I'm kind of like, I'll try and get in front of as many people as I can to spread the word. So
yeah, I've even stumbled upon your videos on YouTube after we met each other. So it was funny that you were some of the search results and the things that I was looking for even. But awesome. Yeah. Everyone tuned in, watching this, thank you so much for checking it out. Adam is a really sharp marketer, so I really encourage you to go to his website, check him out, follow him, subscribe to his channels. I'll make sure I drop a link below the video for you guys to check out. But other than that, keep on building your empires, and I will see you guys in the next masterclass.
Thanks, Brian.